Welcome to Constructive Conversations, the podcast dedicated to raising the standard of excellence in light construction. I'm your host, Colton Lingle. Each episode will explore the people, products, and processes that are shaping the future of this industry. From practical insights to proven best practices, you'll discover how to build better businesses, relationships, and buildings. This is where excellence isn't just expected, it's the baseline. Get ready, because today's constructive conversation starts now.
Welcome. So we jump into this episode. I just wanted to cover a few things about what to expect on Constructive Conversations. I am looking forward to the journey that this is going to take us on, but I wanted to cover some things right off the bat that we're going to be looking at and what you can expect. So first, address a couple of the pain points that we're looking to address. When we talk about light construction, especially in the space that I exist in, which is mostly remodeling, mountain decks and exteriors, we primarily do what the name says, decks and exteriors, decks, siding, and screen porches. There can be a lot of struggles that we face, not just with us, but with guys that work on the inside of the house too, with expectations and everything. You know, when we just talk about things with the homeowners, we find that truthfully, many homeowners are struggling to find a trustworthy contractor. They're usually not sure about what the timeline looks like. Is this contractor going to stay on budget? Is project going to stay on track? And all these things, they have all these concerns, and it feeds into their experience as a client. And then as a contractor, I can see many times where, we face unrealistic expectations. The homeowner wants us to be perfect. He expects every little detail to be perfect, or she, I shouldn't say just he, but he or she, they're nitpicking this, that, or the other. And we're just like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So we're trying to deal with those up front. The lack of understanding from the part of the homeowner of what it really takes to get their job done. Some homeowners, not all the homeowners, but some of the homeowners are just like, oh, you can just throw that there and throw the old adage of Chip and Joanna, that's all they see on TV. And truthfully, there's something to that stereotype, but at the same time, we want to dispel some of that and give some clarity. So here, Constructive Conversations, we're trying to bring a level of clarity. We're trying to bridge the gap, let's say, between intention and execution. And we're trying to make sure that there isn't a disconnect that leads to frustration. Oh my goodness, can't talk. Frustration on both sides of the aisle. Constructive Conversations is aiming to close that gap by exploring what it really takes to build better experiences and not just better buildings. We're trying to raise the level of experience that both the contractor and the client have throughout the process of construction, whether that's building a custom home or doing what we do, building either new decks or renovating decks, adding a screen porch, all of those things. We're looking to raise that level of experience to the next level and just keep on raising that and raising that and raising that. So that's really what we're trying to do here on Constructive Conversations, is raise that bar. That's really the impetus, let's say, for what we're doing here. So first of all, if you're watching this and you've made it 4 minutes into this, thank you, because I don't know that I'd make it 4 minutes into this video of all these ramblings. But really the big goal is to raise that standard to a standard of excellence for the experience for the client. What that looks like in the conversations, those constructive conversations that we're going to have, actually has a lot to do with just about every aspect of construction and running a construction business. Looking forward to just a couple of the guests that we have coming up that I'm thinking about, talking with a friend of mine about setting that client experience up. This friend of mine does an excellent job, because I'm one of his clients. I know about having just a top-notch customer experience from the start to the finish of this is what you can expect when you're working with us. He's not in construction, but I think there's a lot that I can learn, and that hopefully you as the audience can learn from him and his expertise. Another friend of mine that we're going to have on the podcast runs an excellent business. And he really, I'm looking forward to having a conversation about him with how he treats his employees, how he pays his employees, how he compensates them to get the best out of them, and how that impacts the experience from the client. He's a subcontractor of mine. He's done incredible work for me, and not only has he done incredible work for me, but my client has just said some amazing things about him, and it's really considers him just great, communicating at what his guys have done, and his gals, and just really, really solid guy that is doing a pretty cool thing with his business. And I want to share that with you guys, because those are the things that are important to me. Creating that excellent client experience. And along the way to creating that excellent client experience, we're trying to create an excellent experience for our employees, our vendors, our subcontractors. Ultimately, I want to have an excellent client experience for myself. I want to enjoy getting up every day, going to work, and doing that process and enjoying it. So that's what I'm trying to share with you. You're really here following along on my journey of doing the research, of talking to people to learn from them. That's what I want you guys to experience here on this podcast, is watching me learn, watching me understand what it takes to get better at giving that better experience. Ultimately, I think not only giving a better experience will just raise the bar in that area, but I think giving a better experience will also raise the bar in the craftsmanship, because that's also required too. How can we be better craftsmen at what we do? There's plenty of content out there about, specifically about craftsmanship, and I love it. I consume so much of it myself, but I don't think that's the be all end all to creating a great product for the client. And I really want to hone in on that experience as a whole. Obviously, craftsmanship is part of that. So, what can you expect? You can expect some of this face to the camera, talking to you guys about my pain points, some of the things I'm learning outside of this podcast, maybe some of the books I'm reading. Probably not a whole lot of that. I would anticipate, as a listener, as a viewer, I would anticipate much more conversations with experts or other practitioners, people that have been there, done that, and people that are trying to be there, trying to do that, are doing that right now, are grinding every day to get better. Those are the people I'm looking forward to talking to. That's a lot of what you can expect as we move from here. Is, hey, this is somebody that has been through the fire, they've done the hard work, and now they're sharing it with me. And consequently, I'm just here recording it. And so not only are they sharing it with me, but they're sharing it with you too. And I want to have you guys get value from it that way. beyond that, what can we take away from this? Some big things that we're looking to get better at, that I've identified, that other people have identified for me, is communication. How can we get better in our communication? How can we be better at setting expectations for our clients? How can we be better at learning what their needs are? How can we improve that? How can we serve them best? How can we create that experience that they look forward to, ultimately, that they keep on coming back to? Because let's be real, especially where I'm at, I'm in Western North Carolina. It's a rainforest. Things break down quickly. If this business is around, more than likely, they're going to need more work done on their house that my company can provide. And if I can provide that excellent experience, they're going to be coming back to me again and again. So that's what I'm trying to do. But not only that, like, for my own sake, I've already talked about this, is like, what company do I want to be a part of? What company does my employees want to be a part of? Do they want to be a part of a company where the clients aren't excited to see you in the morning because they're tired of you being there, because the process is just laborious? It's just painful for you guys to be there because it's taken too long, or their expectations haven't been met, so they're frustrated. Maybe it's nothing that you actually did. It's maybe what you haven't done, and they're just upset about it. And so your guys don't want to be there. Your employees, you don't want to go. You avoid going. You avoid calling them because something's up. And so you have to wake up every day knowing that, oh man, I got to go to this job site today, to deal with these guys, because my goodness, this is just crazy. No, I don't want that. I don't want that for you as the listener. I don't want that for the homeowner, because if I'm dealing with that when I wake up in the morning, more than likely that's what they're dealing with too. And I don't want that for them. I don't want that for my guys, my employees. Sorry, my guys is a term of an endearment that I use for my employees. I'm not trying to give them a hard time or anything, but my employees are awesome. They work really hard for me. I don't want to be putting them in a situation where they're frustrated or annoyed or discouraged to go to that job site because of the client, and the client maybe is having a bad experience with us as a company. That's just going to sour the relationship that I have with my employees. So we're trying to do all of this hard work, not only to give the clients the best experience possible, which there's always a way to improve that, but also I want to give my employees the best experience possible. Beyond just paying them a good wage, I want them to be excited to come to work most days. Let's be real. Not everybody's excited to come to work every single day. If you are, I guess good. Congratulations, you found the key. But that's what we can expect. That's what we're going to be talking about. That's what I'm passionate about, is seeing people have an awesome experience in the construction space. Something that, unfortunately, from stories that I've heard, is not all that common. And so we're looking to change that. We're looking to get better. My company, Mountain Decks and Exteriors, we're always looking to get better at that. And I'm looking to get better at that as a leader, as a business owner. I'm looking to get better at that so that I can pass that along to everybody around me. So that's what we're talking about. That's where we're going with this. This is a little bit shorter introduction episode to Constructive Conversations, but I wanted to share where we're going. I wanted to talk about what I'm passionate about, what I want to see this podcast take us to. So hopefully you're along for the ride. If this strikes a nerve in any way, click the subscribe button, follow along for as long as you can stand it. Truth be told, I'm not a huge fan of listening to myself, so this is probably the only time I'm going to listen to this, but hey, I hope that you enjoyed this. Please share it with those that you would find this to be helpful. You think this is going to be beneficial to them. and go from there. So, thank you. Stay humble, stay busy.
Thanks for joining us on Constructive Conversations, where we're raising the standard of excellence one episode at a time. If you found today's discussion valuable, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you know a homeowner or contractor who could benefit from these insights, share this podcast with them. Until next time, keep building smarter, keep raising the bar, and keep the conversation constructive.